Okay, so we're all obsessed with what AI can do for us, right? But let's push that idea to its absolute limit. What happens when AI does, well, everything? We're going to dive into this super weird paradox today. What if the perfect world, the one AI builds for us, is actually the last thing we'd ever really want?
Now, really think about it for a second. I'm not just talking about AI doing your homework or sorting out your budget. I mean, every single problem, every global crisis, every personal struggle you've ever had, just poof, gone.
Sounds amazing, right? I mean, this is the ultimate dream. A world with no disease, no poverty, no conflict. It's the paradise we've all been waiting for. But what if that dream is actually a nightmare in disguise? So, believe it or not, a movie from way back in 1999 totally called this. Yeah, I'm talking about The Matrix. And to really get what's going on, we have to look at the first version of The Matrix, the one you never really see. This is that chilling line from Agent Smith. Get this. The machine's first try at controlling humanity wasn't some dark, rainy dystopian world. Nope. It was a perfect utopia. A world where no one ever suffered and everyone was always happy. And you know what happened? It was a complete disaster. And the reason why it failed is just wild. The human mind, it just couldn't handle it. People's brains literally rejected this perfect reality. So much so that the machines were losing entire generations of people. The whole system crashed because, deep down, a world without struggle just felt fake, wrong. Just let that sink in for a second. The AI had to program suffering back into the world. It had to add failure and challenge, all the stuff we spend our lives trying to get rid of, just to make the world feel real enough for us to live in. That kind of points to a dark possibility, doesn't it? Maybe we actually need misery to feel alive. And listen, this isn't just some sci-fi movie plot. This is a real philosophical problem. Like, actual philosophers are debating this right now, as we speak, especially with AI getting more and more powerful every day. Yeah, a philosopher named Nick Bostrom actually gave it a name, the deep utopian dilemma. It's this crazy paradox where if we actually succeed in creating a perfect world with AI, if it solves every problem and achieves every goal for us, we might accidentally delete the very things that give us a reason to live in the first place. I mean, think about it. All the big goals, curing cancer, ending poverty, what happens when they're all checked off the list? What's next? If there are no more mountains to climb, why even get out of bed in the morning? Your whole drive just evaporates. Life becomes this empty, pointless video game where you've already beaten the final boss.
So, that's a pretty bleak thought, isn't it? Are we just doomed? Are we wired to need misery just to feel like we're alive? Is it impossible to have a perfect world that's also a meaningful one? Well, hold on. What if we're asking the wrong question entirely? The source material we're looking at today suggests a totally different answer. It argues that we're not doomed to need misery at all. We might just be looking for our purpose in all the wrong places.
Here's the core idea. If your meaning in life comes from solving problems, then yeah, you're gonna run out of meaning once an AI solves them all for you. But what if your purpose could come from something that never, ever runs out, something infinite? Okay, so this is where the source draws from a biblical worldview, and it proposes three sources of meaning that are literally inexhaustible. First, the exploration of God, a being who is infinite, so you can never run out of things to discover. Second, a sense of purpose that comes from creating alongside him, something eternal, not just fixing temporary problems. And third, the ultimate joy that comes from love, love for God and for other people, which is something that by its very nature never gets boring. You see the massive shift here? Your purpose flips from just trying to fix a broken world to building relationships that are meant to last forever. And that kind of meaning doesn't just disappear when the world becomes perfect. In fact, that's where it really truly begins. So what we're left with are two totally different pictures of a perfect world. On one side, you have the utopia that AI might build for us, and on the other, you have the one we just talked about from this biblical perspective. Let's put them side by side. Okay, so look at this. The AI's utopia is all about you and what you can achieve. The engine driving it is basically competition and accomplishment. But the result, once everything's been achieved, you're left with emptiness. But the Bible's vision of utopia? The focus isn't on yourself. It's on your relationship with God and others. The engine isn't competition, it's love. And the result isn't a dead end. It's this ever-expanding, unending sense of fulfillment. And maybe that's the bottom line here. An AI could, in theory, build a world without pain. It could give us a world of comfort, but it could never give us what truly makes that world worth living in, a meaningful, infinite purpose rooted in love. So that leaves us with one last big question for you. What kind of perfection are you actually built for? Are you built for the kind that ends in boredom and emptiness? Or are you built for a different kind of perfection entirely? One where you finally get to explore the infinite purpose and love you were actually created for? The answer to that, well, that could change everything.